Hello and welcome to another episode of Thursdays with Tracy. I'm glad you all could join me this evening. I'm gonna let my guest in. Her name is Holly Larson, and I'm gonna just let her in. So it'll be just a couple more seconds here, and it'll be just a moment. I'm gonna actually respond to her. So I'm going to take a quick second to go out and I'll be right back with you guys. See you in a bit. Give me about a minute or so. Okay, everybody, I'm back. We're having some technical difficulties, so while Holly is getting in the room, I am going to start the conversation. So there's a whole bunch to talk about, but first, I want to remind you to like, share, and subscribe to my page, and you can hit the notification button to be notified when I go live. Also, if you're a fan of my Facebook page, I'll be offering services where I will text people to remind them that the show is going live. So instead of receiving it in your Facebook or by email, it'll come for text. But that's coming up. I thought it was going to be tonight, but it's going to be tomorrow that I'll have it. And then that means for next week's show. So, and again, I want to remind everyone to become a Patreon. Patreon is the way that I pay for all of these services. I would love to go streaming live in my YouTube and Facebook page at the same time, but unfortunately, I cannot until I get at least 10 Patreons. That's my goal. I have one now, so I have 9 to go. This evening, I want to talk about like I said, there's so much to talk about. I could talk about the guy that parked his truck in front of the Capitol building with explosives in it, apparently. But I'm probably going to start off by talking about the whole withdrawal from Afghanistan. And I cannot believe I'm about to say this, so I want everybody to take note of this. I actually agree with Biden. I know. I can't even believe it myself that I'm sitting here and agreeing with him. But this is the right decision. We cannot keep fighting these forever wars, putting our soldiers in danger. Um, and then when they come, those who do get to come back home, they're experiencing PSTD. Some are committing suicide. They have a hard time adjusting. This was actually the right decision. And again, I'm surprised as anybody that Biden got this one right. I think the media needs to really shut up in this case, because all they're doing is um, they're just criticizing his draw out. And let me backtrack. So nobody likes the way that this draw is going. You had the Taliban that came in and took over, which I don't know why they didn't plan for it. Um, but the ultimate decision was the correct decision. Get our soldiers out there, bring them home. We don't need these forever wars. However, the execution, that was terrible. I mean, you had people grabbing onto hold of planes literally to fly out. You have uh, just all kinds. I saw pictures where there were just like streams of people waiting to get aboard. So hopefully that'll get addressed. But like I said, it's just so imperative that we get our soldiers out of there. And again, the media with their criticism while they're sitting in a plush studio, shut up. You're not over there. I can see the people maybe criticizing if they were actually there because they're talking to the people. Okay, I can see that. But I can't see this whole, okay, well, he should have did this, this, and this. No, you just want these forever wars to continue with this, the funding going to the military industrial complex. We spent, I believe, I read somewhere $2.7 trillion. And that's money we could have. Well, I'm going to back up again. First of all, we should never have gone to Afghanistan. We weren't there to spread democracy or free the women and the girls and all this other stuff that people are trying to say. We were there because America is an imperialism government that will go to other countries, take over, do what it is that they want to do. So we shouldn't have been over there in the first place. But since we're there, I don't know if the military was working with the Afghan government to say, hey, we're going to draw out this date. Apparently, the previous administration, 45, because I don't acknowledge his presidency, had the withdrawal for, I believe it was going to be in May. If I'm wrong, somebody just correct me in the comments, but I'm almost certain it was going to be May. And then once Biden took office, he backtracked it towards September the 11th. But then I thought it got pushed back towards August. So they're withdrawing now, but I think all of them are supposed to be gone by the 11th. And, I got to talk about this. The president of Afghanistan fleeing, they should not allow him back in that country. That was just so ridiculous. How you going to be the president of the country and you just decide, you know what? Oh, I'm running. I'm gone. I can't take this anymore. Like, what is that? What are you telling the people? You're just running. You're just going to let the Taliban walk in, take over. And it's just such a mess. But like I said, and then you have other controversies that are coming into play. You have, of course, the Republican Party that's criticizing Biden for this. I feel like they would criticize no matter what. If he stayed, they would say, "Oh, you can't put the soldiers in danger." And if he leaves, "Oh, it's too soon. Give it another 10 years." So either way, he was darned if he did, and he was darned if he did not. So he was not in a good place either way. This is the decision. Again, I'm going to say it again. Can't believe I'm agreeing with it. And pardon me, my headphones are kind of slipping off, but it was the right decision. Another thing that's really kind of tripping me up is some Democrats are speaking against this withdrawal. I don't know whether they're against the withdrawal itself or how the withdrawal was executed. I need somebody to clarify that for me because I keep hearing their comments, and it's like they too want the military to stay for 1 more year, 5 more years. But as the Secretary of Defense said yesterday, and I'm going to find that clip and play it here in a second, it wouldn't have mattered if we would have stayed 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Nothing about that region is going to change. And like I said, oh, hi, Marlon, how are you? Nothing's going to change. And it's really kind of jarring because I thought the Democrats, they usually when Biden says something, they're just like, whatever you say, we'll do whatever you say. And this time, some of them are fighting back. But ultimately, I think this is the right decision. It had to be made. We can't keep spending trillions, literally trillions of dollars on a war that's, what did it actually give us? Nothing much. And of course, you never, I feel bad for the soldiers that sacrificed their lives. That's tragic. I feel bad for the Afghan people. But our soldiers need to come home. We could have taken that money and we could have had Medicare for all. We could have had, I would say student loan forgiveness, but Biden could do that with the strike of a pen. We could have had universal basic income. There's so many other places that we could be spending this money, and we are wasting it with these forever wars, and we're also wasting it when we go into other countries and we tell them, oh, you're going to run your government like this. That's a cultural place. As much as I don't agree with how they treat women and how they treat girls, that's the way they've established their culture. They're established to treat women in a subservient way. I don't agree with it. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm saying that's their culture. They don't believe in women holding office. I know there's a female in office now, but she still has to wear a head cover. It's just, like I said, this definitely was the right decision. I think Holly's in the chat room, but not on the show. Yep, my peeps are divided, so I've been staying out of it. A lot of people are staying out of it, but you think about, like I said, you think about the $1 trillion spent. You think about the military-industrial complex. We spent, people that question, well, how are you going to pay for Medicare for all? But they never question how are we going to pay for wars. I've never heard any conversation about how we pay for wars. We just find a way to pay for it. Maybe this will lead to people questioning, why are we in places like, I would say Guam, but that's a part of the United States. Oh, I can't, Brazil and Portugal. And all these places where America has its rule in place. And if they don't like who the people of that country elect, then they're going in and they're taking them out. And then when that government, oh yeah, thank you, Holly, Vietnam also. We literally went in, took over their country. And then when immigrants come into this country, we have the nerve to get mad. How are you getting mad? You ruined their government. You ruined their environment. They can't farm. They can't do anything. So obviously they're going to come to a place. They're going to come from a place to a place that's better. Oh, wait a minute. I think CS has got a correction for me. Wars don't come from the budget. Matters of national defense are appropriations. Well, either way, they get money. They don't just get money from nowhere. They're getting money from somewhere to go to all those wars and give all those contracts out. My contention is, hey, why don't we use it to, I don't know, invest in green energy? That would make sense since the ocean literally caught fire a couple of weeks ago. Um, it just drives me crazy that there are actually Congress people um, proposing that we continue to stay in these forever wars. And I guess I don't understand the point of them because what did we really accomplish in Afghanistan? Sure, a couple women got to drive um, a car. They still had to wear head coverings. Sure, a couple women got to go to school. But couldn't they have fought for that right on their own? Do we have to always be the world's policeman at such a cost? We lost thousands of soldiers. We had thousands of soldiers dealing with PSTD. We started this Afghanistan war when I was 27. I am now 47. That means all those 20 years they've been over there. And I still am like, okay, what did we accomplish? And I know some people are gonna say, well, war never accomplishes anything. It doesn't. But usually you like to say, okay, we freed the people and they decided XYZ. They're in the same situation they were 20 years ago. The Taliban is ruling, although they did reach an agreement with the U.S. government. There was a peace accord, apparently, that was signed that I didn't realize. But like I said, Biden, in my opinion, um, made the right decision. I'm shocked that he did it because he's been wrong about so many other things. I'm like, he's actually making the right decision. This is the right decision. Again, the execution was terrible. Him executing the removal of Afghanistan was terrible. But withdrawing the soldiers is absolutely the right decision, in my opinion. I'd love to know what you think. If you're watching this, put something in the comment section because I think this is an ongoing discussion that we need to have. I know, the last 5 presidents before Biden, there was the clown, then there was Obama, Clinton. Who was before Clinton? Oh shoot, who was? Father Bush. So there was. Wait a minute, let me go backwards. There was Trump. There was Obama. Before Obama was George W. Bush. Before George W. Bush was Bill Clinton. Before Bill Clinton was Father Bush. We've been dealing with this war since Father Bush. Are you kidding me? Since that time, we've had remakes of We Are the World. I mean, are we serious? Are we serious with this? What type of sacrifice are we asking our soldiers to make? And why should they have to go to the military to make those sacrifices? I'll give you an example. When someone goes to the military, they get free college, apparently, or free low interest loans for college. They get health care. They get food, clothing, shelter. Why do they have to go to the military to do that? If we already had those things in place, they wouldn't have to be fighting wars to get things that we should already have. This isn't some idealized world where I'm just like, okay, everything fall out the sky and let's just make it all a peaceful world. No, we have to, if we say as a government that we want peace, then we have to act like we want peace. And going into these endless wars, overtaking countries, putting in who we want to rule, it just drives my mind crazy. And another point that I need to bring up is when we wonder why terrorist attacks happen against America. Now you imagine that you're in a country and here comes a stealth bomber and it kills your mother, your father, and your children. You're going to be pretty angry that happened. Personally, I be seeking revenge. I know we all say forgive, blah, blah, blah. But some people, they're not going to forgive. They're not going to forgive. They're going to be indoctrinized to kill Americans. And then we wonder, well, why did September 11th happen? Maybe if we minded our own business, we may be just a little bit better off. Now, some things we can't avoid. You know, when you're attacked by outside force, okay, you have to defend yourself. But some of these wars, like Vietnam, don't understand it. Afghanistan, don't understand it. Persian Gulf, don't understand it. I'm just like, I literally don't understand our tendency for war, and then our tendency to fund the wars without any questions. And it seems like the military complex, they just want to keep it going and keep it going and keep it going. And I'm like, okay, how much money can you make off the deaths of not only Afghanistan people, but American soldiers? What cost is too high for you to pay for someone's life? So, let's see. What. Speaking for itself, I forgive nothing, and neither will they. 10 years from now, a new wave will come. I definitely agree with that. The way we set it up, we go, like I said, we go into these countries. We just say we're gonna put in this person and this person. We didn't go over to Afghanistan to free the people. We could care less about their women. We could care less about their girls. We could care less about their people. We went in with a certain agenda, and when we accomplished it, we said, "Okay, we're done." And that builds up, that builds up hatred, and people are just ugh. People, we need to stop this. We need to stop. We need to call for serious cuts in our military spending. It is completely out of control. That's my opinion. I know some people say, oh, you got to defend the country. And I'm going to say, no, not at this cost. This is ridiculous that we have, and I'm trying to think of the number, but we have tens of thousands of soldiers who've either committed suicide, had PTSD, can't get the services that they deserve when they get back, or if they go to one of the VAs, they have to wait and wait and wait and wait for services. It's ridiculous. Let's see. We got some more comments here. So cuts, yes. Ridiculous, no. We need to stop with this. And Holly says something that we don't care about our own people. The military complex cares about the military complex. That's it. The only people that are making money off of this war is the military complex. They built weapons when we literally have enough weapons to blow up the planet 18 times. Why are we making more weapons? Anybody in the comment section explain that to me, because I'm like, I don't know. I literally don't. I can't believe I'm going to agree with something that I heard on Fox News, but I'm ready to hashtag defund the military, because this is just out of hand. We have literally soldiers that are they're devastated when they come back. And, I definitely respect the people that served in the military. My father was in the Air Force, but I can't with all this costing lives and spending money that we don't have to spend. I'm still going to get back on my point. America needs to mind its own business. Just stop with the interfering in other countries. Get our own country straight, because we certainly have our problems. And speaking of problems, I'm looking at my phone because I want to bring up a story that I saw today about a young person, or a gentleman, or a person, Trump supporter, decided to mow his car into the Capitol. So I'm going to bring this up. And sorry here, I just got twisted. Man mows truck. Okay, I'm going to read the story. No, I'm going to actually try to find it and play you all the clip. Because this guy, oh, he was, whoo, he had some special, he had some special cases going on. So I'm going to flip away from my screen for just a second because I want to bring up this clip to show you all. You got to see this because this guy is just like, he's out of it. So let's see. Hopefully you can all still hear me. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, and apparently I can't share it. Okay, hold on, everybody. We're just learning this technology, so. Okay. Okay, that obviously didn't work. So, can't share the screen because I don't have two monitors. So, I'm just going to read to you all what happened. So, apparently, some Trump loving supporter decided, you know what? I'm just going to take my car and I'm just going to go to the Capitol and say, if you all don't do something, I'm going to ram my truck into the Capitol building. Okay, so here it is. A North Carolina man who claimed to have had a bomb in a pickup truck near the U.S. Capitol surrendered to law enforcement after hours-long standoff today, which prompted massive police response and the evacuation of government buildings in the areas. Authorities were investigating when. Let me remove that. Hold on just a moment. Hold on just a moment. Lost my place. Authorities were investigating what led the suspect, identified as 49-year-old Floyd Ray Rosenberry, to drive onto the sidewalk outside the Library of Congress, make bomb threats to officers, and profess a litany of anti-government grievances as a part of a bizarre episode that he live-streamed for a Facebook audience. Police later searched the vehicle and said they did not find the bomb, but did collect possible bomb-making materials. Well, here is my thought. See, people like this make me sick. They literally make me sick. Why did people vote for Trump? I don't understand it. He's definitely a Trump supporter because if I was allowed to share my screen, I could actually show you the clip that I'm talking about. This guy is definitely a Trump supporter. He had grievances, of course. He doesn't want to get the vaccine because it's a government plot. Can we stop there for 1 second? If the government were going to be plotting to kill us, wouldn't that plunge into their voter base? Like, that would take away supporters that they have. And I'm like, okay, no. And of course, he said that the election was stolen from. That's one. This is my last rant of today because I try to keep these under 45 minutes. Could Trump and his gang please stop saying that he won the election? Stop putting in Hugo Chavez and somebody from Italy and somebody from France and somebody from outer space stole the voting machines and changed the elections. It's getting ridiculous. People who are like this Rosenberry guy, who aren't the brightest of people, listen to that and they decide to take it to extremes. All you're doing is making it easy for these kind of dumb people to be more expressive about their anti-black, anti-gay, they're just anti. Um, they're anti everything. And of course, you knew he was taking lives, so he couldn't have been black. I'm like, oh, okay. Yep, he not black, because if that was a black man, he got shot. Al Qaeda and Al Qaeda. Oh goodness, that's a good one. Al Qaeda. And it's I have so many thoughts on people like this that are not stable stable from the jump. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. Why would you support a man who clearly was not for you? And then you believe that we stole the election from him. Like we was wanting Biden. Like we just said, you know what? I'm gonna vote for black. Well, I didn't. Well, that makes me not black, but that's a whole different show. Um, I I can't with Trump supporters. I've tried. I've tried to be understanding. I've tried to be, kind, and it's just like y'all is not all the way there. What evidence are you talking about? Where is it at? It doesn't exist. It's like they've drunk the Kool-Aid. That's what it is. They've drunk the Kool-Aid, and they're just all they done drunk it. They have drunk the Kool-Aid, and they're not going to stop. They're going to keep going. And I'll bet you, last thing I want to talk about, if you all watch Mike Lindell, somebody needs to help him. He held his symposium. And of course, August the 13th, Trump was supposed to be reinstated. He wasn't. And now they keep moving the date back. I am hoping that the government is smart enough to realize that September the 11th is coming soon. Because I can just imagine one of these numbnut idiots going out here and making some ignorant, stupid comments. White supremacy, racist, and mental issues yes, they are. It amazes me how many people have mental health issues. And for some reason, well, because the healthcare in this country stinks, they're not getting the help that they need. But racism is rampant. But of course, if you listen to Jim Clyburn and listen to Kamala Harris, racism doesn't exist. America is not a racist country. No way. Y'all gonna have to help me. Help me to understand, where is the evidence? I don't see it. No, I did not want him to win. I didn't want him to win the first time, but he beat a terrible candidate. And Hillary was a terrible candidate. I don't care what y'all say in the comments. She was terrible. But this, oh gosh. I mean, they're like, it was stolen and dead people were voting. No. And now we have it where, to be honest, black people may lose the right to vote. And I don't want that to happen. But it's either, hopefully it won't get to that extreme. Because that is the extreme. But in states like mine, in Georgia, Texas, Iowa, Arizona, it's getting harder and harder for black people to vote. And nobody's going to stand in line for 2 to 11 hours in a midterm election. So you're going to get a Republican Congress that's going to pass more restrictive voter laws. It's just going to be a mess. I hoped that someone out there has the answer because I don't. I really don't. But I wanted to take these last couple of minutes to talk about two things. Number one, starting next week, I'll have a number where you can add your name to the list to be text about when this show goes live. That will happen. It'll be this show, Tracy Takes On, and the Progressive Queens. I'll text people when those shows are airing or when the website is updated. The second thing I wanted to talk about, and Holly isn't here, and I'm not sure what happened, but we have started a group, well, not Holly, but I've started a group called We Tired of This Mess. That's the tentative name right now because a better one will be coming up. But it's a group that is dedicated to getting more progressives elected at the local level, because that's where the change is going to come from. Congress doesn't care about anything. We're going to have to do this change at the local level. So there's going to be a Zoom meeting this Sunday, first meeting ever, and we'll be kind of talking about what we're going to do and what we need to get started. The links will be, just check on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Tracy Media LLC. And guys, I didn't think I was going to do this whole show by myself. Hopefully, we'll get Holly in next week so she can talk about her group that I think is really great that I'm a part of. But I want to thank everyone for watching this. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and support us on Patreon, because without Patreon, I'm not going to be able to broadcast here and on my Facebook simultaneously. That's my goal, but it costs a whole lot more money than I have in my possession. So check out all the links. I'll see you all later. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. Thanks for the people that showed up. And again, if you are a progressive and you want to be on this show, give me a holler on Facebook, or you can email me at TracyMediaLLC@gmail.com. Thanks everyone for joining me. Have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you all next Thursday. Bye.